Yad nga agahon. Coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan in Western Visayas in the Philippines. Hope you're having a good day. Just getting started here with my morning cup of tea. I'm still drinking green tea because I gotta watch my creatinine level. I got my Arizona cup here. My good friend John in Tucson, Arizona, he sent this cup to me all the way from Tucson, Arizona. It's a treasure for me. It's like when friends gives me things like this, it's a treasure because I mean he shipped this all the way from Tucson, Arizona, and it made it here to Aklan province. Amazing that it didn't break. It didn't break. It made it all the way here. I'm just gonna look up here, make sure you're seeing me. You know, I got my laptop here. All right, I see it. It's live. So, all right. First, I always start with the weather report. And as far as the weather, no typhoon storms or anything like that in the Philippine area of responsibility. The PAR is what it's called here. So pretty much the entire Philippines right now, it says here just cloudy skies with possible rains. But one thing that I see in the Pag-asa website, and I did a little bit of research, is we are now, the Pag-asa, they are the weather people here in the Philippines, kind of like the Weather Channel, you know, the Pag-asa, the government agency, Pag-asa. They now terminated Habagat season, ending Habagat season. Habagat season is monsoon rains here. It just rains a lot during Habagat here in the Philippines. That's why it's been raining from July until now. It's been raining a lot all over the Philippines. So now Habagat season is over. Now we are in Amihan season. Amihan season, less rain during Amihan season. Also, cooler temperatures for us here in Visayas region. I don't know if it's cooler today because I just took Leanne at the school and it was pretty warm already here at 7:28. It's actually, we do get cooler temperature here. And when I say cool, it's not like cold or anything. I've never had to wear a jacket, never had to wear a sweater here. But it can get like maybe 70, maybe in the 70s. And that's cool. For us here in the Philippines, when I feel temperatures that are in the 70s, that is cool weather because we're normally in the 90s and 100s here with high humidity. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's nice when it's like in the range of the 70s, the temperature in the 70s. And today is opening salvo. I wanted to mention that opening salvo in Calibo. It's gonna get crazy in Calibo. I went and filmed a little bit of Pastrana Park yesterday afternoon while Leanna was doing Kumon in Calibo, and I was just filming around Pastrana Park. They already have like you know, those sound stage kind of thing, the big speakers. They're gonna have a concert. They're gonna have a concert at Pastrana Park tonight. There's people like, I guess, popular in the Philippines that's gonna be in town. One, I think Leanna mentioned Elias. I don't know who he is, but he says, I guess he's pretty popular here. So he's gonna be performing in Calibo tonight, and it's free. That's the thing here. That's why in the province, when you go to the province, any type of activity, opening salvo, fireworks, more likely, the drum beats, the parade, the concert, anything like that here in the province, when it's free, man, it's gonna be a lot of people. A lot of people in Calibo tonight, and then Pastrana Park area. They've already deployed many police in Calibo, police from other towns even, not just Calibo. I think I already saw like over 500 police, just to keep the peace, make sure it's a good celebration here in Calibo for the next 3 days. Opening salvo, the opening of Ati-Atihan 2026. It's like a preview of Ati-Atihan that's going to be in January. 10 days of like our Mardi Gras here in Calibo. So tonight, tomorrow night, and the following night, 3 nights of festivities in Calibo. My friend Fortune even said, Kulas from the Becoming Filipino. He's been here in Calibo that started the week. I've seen pictures of him all over my Facebook. My friend Lorraine, actually, the former owner of the Pudding Cafe, she moved her cafe right outside the gate here. She moved her cafe to Calibo. It's now called Kapleya, right beside the Calibo Cathedral. Kulas had coffee at her place. She had a picture taken with Kulas, so that was cool. I'm sure Lorraine was really happy about that. Kevin Shores, hi, Kevin Shores. Beluz, all right, Beluz, my good friend in Wyoming, in God's country in Wyoming. Scuba Steve, good morning, Scuba Steve. I just got your message, I did your comment. I thought it's a comment, so I answered back, Scuba Steve. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I finally got a notification. This is the first. And wow, all right. Hey, I'm moving up. Maybe I'm moving up in the YouTube algorithm. Belus, maybe they're counting me in now in the algorithm. Thank you for joining the live stream and now the notification. Man, I'm moving up, man. I'm getting notifications now on my live stream. Oh, I'm for you. Could be my internet, Scuba Steve. Unfortunately, sometimes, I do have fiber optic cable internet with Calibo Cable. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Ruben. Hey, opening salvo, Ruben. Have a wonderful Wednesday or Tuesday for those in the West. And Ruben, my good friend, Ruben in Calibo, he's now a resident of Calibo now for 10 months. He just got his motorbike. Ruben's got a scooter now. He's got a Honda Click. So you're going to be seeing Ruben around Calibo riding around in this Honda Click. Goku, all right, Goku. Haven't seen you in a while, Goku. Thank you for joining the live stream, Goku. I'm gonna go push up just to make sure you guys are hearing me. Maybe comment. I'm married, Abby. Beautiful wife, Dazzle. Been married 9 years, happily married. It's like the best woman in the world. She means everything to me. James, all right, James and Karen from James and Karen's Adventure. Man, James had an awesome adventure yesterday. James and Karen, they went to Licticon, White Rocks in Madalag. This place that James went to, and not an easy place to go. I have been there with Dazzle and some friends of ours, and we had to take like a 4-wheel truck with Duwali tires, the 4 tires in the back, and we still struggled to get up there because when we went, it rained. It rained when we were very treacherous road when it rained. Good thing they had good weather yesterday when James went. And James is just an adventurer, man. It's like, I can't believe he got his motorbike up there because, man, what James does for you guys on YouTube, man, it's just like not easy to get up there to Licticon White Rocks. I'm sure we'll see the video of James going up to the Licticon White Rocks. Beautiful white rocks. James even like rock climber. James was like climbing the rocks. That was just awesome, brother. I love every single minute. I was watching the whole time, brother. And he did it. He did a live stream right on Licticon White Rocks. Probably the first ever live stream at Licticon White Rocks. I've never seen a live stream from there because James got the Starlink mobile, and he's got it down now to where he knows how to work the mobile Starlink. Just awesome, man. I was so happy. He got like over 11,000 views. It's like it's just amazing. So proud of you, brother. That was a success, man. That's a win, man. It's like so awesome. Looking forward for your adventures and doing more cool things like that, man. I am living through you, James. I'm like, I remember remember all my adventures when I was younger. When I was younger, I'm gonna be 60 next year, so I gotta be careful now, man. I can't be doing adventures like you are just because, man, I can't afford to break a hip, break a knee, break anything. It's like I've made it to 59 years old without breaking any bones in my body, and I like to keep it that way. But I'm gonna be living through you, brother. I just like I love it, man. I love watching you get up there, man. You just don't know how hard it is to get up there. That's up in the mountains. There's swimming pools, like waterfall. It's just beautiful up there, but not easy to get up there. And James and Karen went up there on their motorbike, and to me, that's so cool. Indo, shout out to, all right, shout out, all right, my love, all right, James. I had to get off and walk up the mountain. Hey, I know, man. I know. I remember that hill, that one hill. Man, there was I saw trucks, James, I couldn't get up that hill. Or motorbikes, like you said, they were pushing their motorbikes. They couldn't get up the hill. So I can't wait to watch the video, man, of Karen riding the motorbike. She's a pro at riding the motorbike to get the motorbike up there, man. So awesome, brother. Kumusta from Oregon? Kumusta Lowell? Thank you for joining the live stream, Lowell. God bless, my brother. That rock was spooky. I know, right? It's but it's just the only place that I know of in entire Aklan province. I've never seen anything that rock formation like that in the whole Panay Island. Never see. That's the only place that I think it exists here in Panay Island. Good morning, Ginno. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Bill. What places did you and James went to the Philippines? We went to Malumpati. We did go to Malumpati together. We did that water tubing on Malumpati River. And we're gonna do more. It's right now, it's when the weather gets better here, usually right now, October, November, December, you're kind of still, hit or miss with the weather. There's still days rain, days that's sunny, but come January to June, those 6 months, January from June, here in Panay Island, you can pretty much count on good weather, sunny weather here. All right, Nathaniel, first Toyota. I do own a Toyota. I just, maybe a spell checker messed up you are my inspiration. You showed us the way. Oh, thank you. Man, you're an adventurer. Nobody need to show you the way, James. You got it, man. You're I love your spirit. Love everything about you, brother. You're doing it, man. You're doing it in the Philippines, man. Nothing like you here, man. It's I'm looking at all the vloggers. You're putting them to shame, brother. You're the adventurer. Nathaniel, Sayan, all right. I own a Toyota Wigos. It's crazy how, oh yes, yeah, right? There's a lot of places like that, James, in Aklan that I've seen. Just one place, one day we'll have to go is Nabaoy River in Malay. That river, man, the rivers here are just pristine. That the water is just just so clean, so clean. Plenty of places like that. Edgar, good morning, Edgar. Good morning. Edgar made it to the beach. Man, Edgar made it to the beach. He's got pictures in Navitas, our beach actually here in our town of Numancia. Good morning, Edgar. Geronimo, I am SpongeBob. All right, you see SpongeBob out there. Dave Chappelle, all right. I always have a topic, I got to the bottom. I'll try to keep pace with the comments. That way I don't get overrun. Sometimes I get overrun with comments. But I wanted to discuss today. I always try to do a topic, it's I think it's important, just share information here about the Philippines. And my topic today is there are plenty of good Filipinas in the Philippines. I know that, on YouTube, what goes viral in YouTube is all the time with any subject really is negativity. Negativity sells. People like me that push positive. Our videos don't do as well, but I'm just, that's me. I'm not gonna be fake and do negative videos. That's not me. It's like I push positivity, and that's how I live my life. But unfortunately, what you see in YouTube is like all the negativity. They make it look like all Filipinos are scammers, right? It's like I can go to my YouTube homepage right now, and there'll be like stories about I got scammed $20,000, I lost 100,000, all kinds of stories about Filipinas scamming them. But to me, there are plenty of good Filipinas. Don't let that discourage you. Don't let that influence you. That's just social media. Plenty of good Filipinas that you will meet here. But I do know it happens. I do know, especially from friends that I talk to, when they go on that online dating app, I'm not gonna mention them, I don't want to get in trouble, but like they have online dating app from the US, from Western countries, and they go on the online dating app, and you find, most of the people I talk to here that use those dating apps, they tell me, man, there's just a lot of scammers, a lot, so that gives the Filipinas here a bad reputation, because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in like scamming people. To me, that's so wrong. But I can't even say I understand, because there shouldn't be like, to me, that's just bad. That's just bad. Even if how hard your life is scamming people is still not a good thing. Still not a good thing. It's common. I'll often hear from people, they meet somebody online. Later on, they find out that a lot of Filipinas will hide that they have kids. I don't know why they would hide they have kids. To me, kids are a blessing. They would hide that they're married. Some of them are married, or some of them are online, but they have a boyfriend here in the Philippines. So I do understand, there are people like that, but I would say it's not a majority. There's people that are scammers like anything else in life. The negative, the bad people, they suck up the news, or they attract the attention. But majority of people here, majority of the Filipinas that you'll meet here in the Philippines, there's good Filipinas here. And I know just from meeting Filipinas here, experience, with friends of Dazzles, people that were around here, it's just there's many chances that you'll meet a good Filipina here. Don't get discouraged by what you see on social media. The one thing that I know, you'll see a lot, there are a lot of single moms here, unmarried. Yeah, they've never been married. There's a lot of single moms, and I'll talk about a little bit about that. Why I think, just me now, it's like I'm not, that why my opinion why there's so many single moms here. Rabbit Farmer, how goes all? Good morning, good evening. All right, Rabbit Farmer. Thank you. Next time I will visit the Philippines for the third time. I will visit Zambales. Hey, if you make it to Boracay, man, let me know. Kevin Shores. Be happy to meet up with you in Boracay Island. And that I was going to talk about single moms, because a lot of expats that I know, they meet single moms, and just my opinion again, why I think there's so many single moms here. And the single moms here, all they really want to do is raise their kid. If they have kid or kids, they just want to raise their kids the best they can. And it's hard when you become a single mom here in the Philippines, because unfortunately in the Filipino society, Filipino culture, there once a female has a kid out of wedlock, it's not like, I would say, they're not not a lot of guys like Filipino men, are like would want to like raise another man's kid. It happens. I actually have I have a friend here. He was one of my professors here in college when I went to college. He's raising a stepchild, and it happens. But for the most part, especially like the younger generation, maybe the older generation, 30s, 40s, they're more accept, they would accept somebody, a single mom, but not the younger kids, not the guys dating in their 20s, it almost kind of gives like, if you're a single mom, it's like they're not attractive to like the younger people here. Unlike with us like Western culture, if a Filipina has a kid, it's not a deterrent, right? It's not a deterrent for us to like date somebody with a kid. I just want to hit my notes and make sure I make my points correct here. And why do I think there's so many single moms here in the Philippines? For one, they don't really push birth control here, especially for like the young adults. I'll say young adults, 18 usually is like considered adult, young adult, 18, and here in the Philippines. So for when they reach 18 here, a lot of times they're just graduating high school, senior high now, the extra grades. Maybe some would be beginning college. When they're at that age, here in the Philippines, contraceptives, birth control, it's not pushed here. As a matter of fact, there's a pushback for, the Philippines is a very religious country. 80% of the Philippines are Catholics. So there's a lot of pushback when it comes to birth control, contraceptives, like that IUD. I made a note of that. IUD, intrauterine device, that women, they get implanted to prevent them from getting pregnant. You don't see that much here. You don't hear Filipinas here that have IUD. Or even, I made a note of it, even the after sex pill, that emergency contraceptive pill. I have not seen it here. I don't know if they sell it in the Philippines, but you just don't see it. It's not a common thing here that is available. And again, they don't really like the being on the pill, taking pills, or that's not really pushed here. Just because strong religious, the church doesn't go for like they don't want contraception. Kevin, okay, dude. All right. Oh, we have friends from separated with new partner, still married. Yes, zero protection, not good. Belus. All right. Thank you for the input. I'm glad you're inputting, Belus, because I wanted to. And even when I was in college, right? Dazzle and I, we attended 4 years of college at STI College Calibo. My classmates, the fellas, the bros, we would hang out. It is not really, some of them would have like, they'll buy a condom, but even that, it's not like widely used. And the condoms are not widely used in the Philippines. Like as Belus is saying there, zero protection. So that's why there's so many, right there, young adult, 18, 19, 20, that get pregnant. Because, and the other thing here in the Philippines, when you're young like that, for the female, even though they get pregnant and they have a kid out of wedlock, here in the Philippines, it is still looked up as a blessing. Any child born here is a blessing, So it's not like, all right, that she got pregnant, she's not married, she doesn't have a husband, the guy left, the guy took off. The family will still embrace the kid. The kid's still a blessing. So it's not, I know in the U.S. might be a different dynamic, right? If a teenage mom gets pregnant in the U.S., they kind of look down upon. Here, not as big. It's still a blessing. A lot of times the parents, that's their grandkid, just takes the kid in. Not a big problem here. Do you have Facebook? Yes, I have Facebook. Kevin Shores. You can there's a Dazzle TV Facebook, and there's a messenger there. So you can friend me with a Dazzle TV Facebook, DAZL TV, just like our YouTube page. Single moms are not new in the Philippines. The difference is that her family will help her raise the children. Thank you, right? That's the thing, you know. It's like if an 18-year-old or even sometimes younger gets pregnant, you know, the parents, the grandparents will help. You know, everybody helps. You know, it's like I said, it's still a blessing. It's not looked at as like a negative. It's not for the family. The family will still be excited because it's still part of the family, part of the an added member to the family. She is not let out of by herself. We take care of our, yes, right. We take care of our own. Hello, Ginno and the posse. All right, JP. Hello, JP. Glad you can make the live stream. Good morning, Ginno. Rabbit, my sergeant always said to us, young troops. That's funny. That's funny, Rabbit. How are you, Andili? I'm doing good, Andili. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. The rest of the world's population is shrinking. One day, all of the world will be Filipino. I know, right? The rest of the world, you know, is not having kids, right? The Western countries, they're not getting married. They're not having kids. Population shrinking. You know, it's like the Philippines, one of the highest countries in the world with 35 years and younger. We got you know, mass amount of people here that able-bodied, ready to work, you know, ready to work. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. All right. James. JP, the Bible says the meek shall inherit the earth. I think that means Filipinos. All right. Thank you, James. I mean, you know James, right? You know, James has been here now. You know, he's been here in the Aklan for a while now. He knows how good the people are here. You know, it's like Aklan province, you know, it's like there's just good people here. God-fearing people, traditional people. And I was going to talk about more about that on my topic. I got distracted. I know, right? James was climbing the huge rock. That was so cool, man. That's so cool. All right, just want to hit my notes. I want to make sure I hit all. So many in the province says. Oh, speaking of the contraceptions, especially here in the province, if you live in the province, like Aklan province, even my classmates, right? My classmates that were attending college, I was going to colleges. Many of these kids here, and I call them kids, but you know, they're already in their early 20s, some of them. I haven't heard about like, you know, contraception. They haven't heard of the IUD. They haven't heard of the after sex pill. That just doesn't, you know, in the province, that's just not common. And like I said, when I was in college, you know, again, I saw that when I was at SCI College Calibo, people that Dazzle and I went to school with, you know, they're going to college, you know, you're thinking, you know, they're after a career, you know, their parents are, you know, we went to a private school, so it wasn't cheap. Our tuition was like maybe 20,000 pesos plus per semester. That's pretty high amount of tuition for Filipinos here in the province. And even then, I was seeing girls that were getting pregnant when we were in college. And unfortunately, when they get pregnant, you know, they quit school. Some of them never come back. There were a few that came back, I remember, but a lot of them, when they get pregnant, they just stay home, take care of the baby. Yeah, JP said, James, you are a great explorer. Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, JP, the place where James went, that is not an easy place to go. You need a dirt bike, or a 4-wheel drive truck to get up there. Especially if the roads are wet, you know, it gets muddy. There's roads there that are like all mud, you know, so you got to be like an adventurer to get up there. It's not an easy place to visit. Maybe easier during the summer months when it's all dry because all that mud, all that road going up there is dry, but not during the wet season. Edgar, in a short time, I have seen and found out it's all about family here in the Philippines. They all help with kids and do everything. Yes, right? Edgar's already seen that, you know, like me. Look at me. I'm married Dazzle. Leanna, I'm like helping raise Leanna, making sure she goes to college. The nephews, all the nephews. I already told them when it's time for them to go to college. 3 nephews I will put through college. Dazzle's younger brother, Miko, we helped put him through college. He's graduated college already, working in Boracay. Family is just huge here. I know that, expats will say, well, I'm marrying the Filipina. I'm not marrying her family. To me, if you have that mindset, you're not gonna be happy here. It's like just me now. My opinion. It's like I think you will be much happier if you embrace the family. Because for me, when I came here, I really just was by myself. It's like I wasn't thinking family. I was just coming to the Philippines, going to Boracay, having a good time, and just like living my dream of finally being free. I didn't realize when I married Dazzle that now I have a family, a whole family that loves me, that cares for me, that like watches out for me. It's like when we have parties, when we get together, don't let Kuya do that. Don't let, he's recovering from cancer. Don't let them, they don't want me to lift anything. They don't want me to do anything. I get served food. I just feel the love. It's like to me, that is priceless. So I know people say that it's like you're marrying the Filipina, not her family. I don't believe that. You're marrying the Filipina's family, and if you don't think that, your head, I don't think you'll be happy here, because the Filipina's family is a big part of your Filipina's life. If you don't love her family, man, it's like I don't think that's gonna work out, because that's always gonna be family. That Dazzle, mom, Liana, Miko, Nene, that is Dazzle's family. It's like since she was like a baby. So to me, you have to embrace. I know sometimes you feel like there's expats. I see it. I see it on the blogs. I see it on my Facebook page. It's like Philippine. They go like, man, there's always an emergency. There's always like a relative. There's always this. But like I said, you can control that in the beginning of your relationship. Just make sure, don't try to spoil everybody. Don't be like, if you got money, if you're rich, if you got multiple pensions, go for it. You can afford to spoil them. But if you're like me, you're on a budget, you've got one pension, hoping for the second one for my Social Security. You want to I told Dazzle, Dazzle's parents, they knew it. They knew that's like, hey, it's like I'm on a pension. I'm a budget person. I've been called kuripot. I've been called kuripot before. The word kuripot here in the Philippines is like somebody that's frugal, somebody that's cheap. It's like I do not mind being called kuripot, because at the time I knew I didn't have the income. I had to watch my budget, and I can't be supporting different things. That now it's gotten better. It's like I've saved money, over the last 14 years. Been able to buy a car paid cash for a new car, paid cash for a new tricycle. So I have more now than when I came here. So I'm a little less kuripot, less kuripot. Hello everyone, thriving, Michael White in Masbate Island. Hello, good morning, Michael White. Edgar, hello JP, hello Edgar. I can't have kids. Will I be? No, you won't be banished. If you can't have kids, that's not an issue. That's not an issue here, JP, because the Filipinas, as long as you're upfront, like in the beginning, right? If you say when you're dating, you said I can't have kids. That's not going to be an issue. The issue would be if you say you can have kids and you can't. Just be honest at the beginning of any relationship. Filipinos are understanding. They'll adjust. They'll adjust to whatever circumstance. And a lot of times, the expats that are coming here, JP, they're older, right? Retirement age, late 50s, early 60s, Social Security age. So it's not like the Filipinas are expecting, they know you're older already. And it's like, nothing wrong if you decide to have kids, later in life. As a matter of fact, here in the Philippines, it's more accepted. I know if in the US, if somebody's collecting Social Security and have a baby, they'll have a cow. They'll be like, what? It's like, are you nuts? You're retired. Here in the Philippines, I just have a friend of mine. He's 67 years old, and he just October. The baby's due in October. So to me, it's just like you gotta like. I guess you're coming to the Philippines. It's a different culture. People think differently here. Like I said, a child here, a baby here is a blessing. No matter circumstances of how that baby arrived, no dad, the dad left, whatever issue, the baby here is still a blessing. All the family members will rally around. Everybody's still gonna be excited. Maybe that's why, some just want to be like a mom, just want to be a mom and have a baby, it's like, because the attention that person will get, like an 18-year-old, all of a sudden, if they get pregnant, the family rallies to that person. Everybody's excited, it's not the same negative thinking, like, if somebody in the US, like a 18-year-old gets pregnant without a husband, there's a negative connotation right away if that happens to somebody. Here in the Philippines, people love kids here. People love having babies here. Pinoys will take in anybody into their family. They will never leave you out, right? That's just our culture, man. Filipino culture just are accepting. We don't judge. Like me, if you meet me, I don't judge. It's like, whatever you want to, especially why would I just judge somebody that's come in here retirement? They've been through their life like I did. They've gone to ups and downs, roller coaster life. When they get here, I would never judge. It's like, do your thing, brother. It's like, do you, whatever makes you happy, do you. That's how I look at things. Can't wait for you and Karen to go catch fish at the wire. I was watching the video. I'm sure there's fish. There got to be fish there, but and I know James is talking about camping up there. So we'll see, man. I'm up for it. Like I said, 2026. I'm out. I'm getting fit now. I'm getting exercise. I'm lifting. I'm on the treadmill. I know come 2026, when the summer, I know I'm gonna do a lot more. You're gonna see a lot more doing fun things from Dazzle and I. There is no sex education in the Philippines. Tanya, I did research it a little bit, Tanya. There is like a proclamation or something, but I haven't heard it in school. And I know from going to college with some of my classmates in college, I didn't think they had sex education in high school. I think there was like they were trying to push it to have like sex education in high school here. But 80% Catholics in the Philippines. So there's, just like divorce, they've been talking about divorce here in the Philippines for ages now. I don't think it's ever going to happen. It's just the way it is. The church is very powerful here. A lot of support in Congress here in the Philippines. It's almost like if you go against the church here, if you're a politician, you're almost like killing your career here. It's like not something that they would do. It's like sex education, like in the high school here, in the public schools. I don't know if that's, I do know they have things now in government that they're trying to educate, but it's just not like the same in the U.S., like where people are aware, like when I was in high school, I had sex education in high school. You're aware of stuff, right? Contraception, birth control pills. People know. Here, it's just not a thing that people talk about. It's not, it's almost like taboo, almost. It is detrimental. Belus, my personal opinion, when you marry into a family, basically, they have your back, especially political family. When I married into you become one of the community, and then the community also. Yeah, we're the same. When I married Dazzle, I knew what I was getting into. I knew that, like, I was gonna absorb her family. I was gonna, whatever help I can provide, I would give them. Kim Mandal, good morning, good AM, Gino, good AM, JP, Gino. When you talk about lifting up a family by sending them through college, your face lights up with it does, man, because man, JP, I just know the hardships Filipino go, man. You know, it's like without college here, you know, it's like almost impossible for them to succeed. That's why I even pushed Leanna. I just see hardships here, man. You know, it's like, you know, if I want to have a legacy, I want to give a good legacy like that. I heard about the survey showed many were wanting sex education in schools there. What do you think? I don't think it's really, you know, I don't know, with sex education here. I guess I have to do more research about it, but I don't think it's, you know, let me do more research. I don't think it'll help, you know, just because, you know, I mean, kids here now, they got the internet, they know a lot of stuff, right? But I don't know if that would really help here. I guess it's, you know, it hasn't been done here, so it's hard to tell. Good AM for Fortune, fam and the Panay Posse. All right. I'm married into, but nothing to do with politics. I stay away. It's a 50-50, really. Yeah, it's like same thing with me, Belus. You know, it's like many times I say I don't get into politics. Yeah, American politics, Filipino politics. I keep my opinions to myself. You know, it's never a good thing. Never a good thing here. Today is the day. Opening salvo. Yeah. Today my plan is I'll park my car at La Casa Española because at Pastrana Park you can't park anywhere there. And then from La Casa Española, hopefully I can find parking there. I'll park my car there and then take a tricycle. I'm gonna take Mel, my friend from Atlanta. He hasn't been to any Atitian opening salvo, any festival here, so I told him I'll take him. Are you from the... Yes, coach. I'm from the Philippines. Good day, Belus. James, Karen, Ruben. All right, JP. Fortune, Belus, Tanya. Good day, Edgar, JP, Joe, Mike White. Edgar, Fortune, good morning. Edgar, are you going to opening salvo and to do sadsad? We'll see. I don't know. You know, I never ask Edgar because, you know, Edgar's doing his own thing. And Edgar's having a good time. That's all I want to say. Edgar's having a great time here. I'm going to check out some and see what it's like. All right, Edgar. All right. Good deal, Edgar. Click the like, please. James, are those big white rocks limestone? I don't think they're limestone, JP, but man, they're just white. You know, it's like, I think they're like fossil or something like that. Like really ancient rock formation. But they get slippery. I know towards the water area, it gets slippery. But towards like after like the water area, like where James was walking, it's less slippery. But you know, you still gotta be careful, man. Those are you know, those are solid rocks. You know, those are solid rocks. Ginno, what signs will assure that you met the right Filipino and she's not leading you on? All right, good question. For me, the number one thing for me, the sign with Dazzle. When I was dating her, and then when I proposed to her, got married, you know, the Dazzle's, you know, I'm always number one with Dazzle, and Dazzle's always number one with me. You know, it's like Dazzle will pick me over her family. If it's an issue where something in the family, or you know, it's like that I don't agree, Dazzle would side with me. You know, it's like that's just how it is. You know, it's like that's how Dazzle and I. That's how. I guess that's why we're happily married. You know, our priority is each other. We take good care of each other. So for me, the reason I say that, if you notice like your Filipina prioritizing her family over you, if like you say, if you know, I understand you want to help the family, and I do, but there's certain times when I had to say no because I don't think the individual deserve my help. Like if the individual wasn't trying, or the individual just made mistakes, I'm not gonna like support that behavior, right? You know, it's like I want that individual to know, hey, that behavior you did, you know, somebody was gambling, wasting money, going out drinking. I'm not gonna support that. So, you know, there could be like friction with the family member, but your partner has to prioritize you, has to always side with you. You have to be the number one with your partner. That that's usually a sign that, you know, the minute your partner's prioritizing other people besides you, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. How is your dental experience looking to get my teeth cleaned? In Kalibo, it's okay. I mean, they're not the best. Like right now, there's Asia Pacific Medical Center. I'm actually going to make an appointment there. I'm going to try them because they got more state-of-the-art equipment. The dentists that I've been going cleaning, they're just like, you know, it's inexpensive. It's like 500 pesos to clean your teeth, but they don't even have an X-ray machine. That's how kind of primitive Kalibo is. You know, you would have to go to Rojas City. We would have to go to Iloilo City to find dentists with radiology equipment. I think Asia Pacific has it. That's why I'm going to give them a try. I'm going to make an appointment with Asia Pacific Medical Center. JP, the biggest thing I found, the Philippines want to see how you react and accept the children. The kids will be so amazed about seeing you. Yeah, right. I was talking to Edgar yesterday. I was at Edgar's apartment. We were just chit-chatting yesterday. And he was saying like how wide-eyed the kids are seeing Edgar. You know, it's like they're like, you know, it's like they've never seen an American. You know, because here in the province, it's still not. You know, Kalibo. You know, the people in Kalibo see more expats. But the minute you move away from Kalibo, maybe Numancia, but once you get to Makato, Ibahay, Nabas, there's areas here in Aklan where they don't see a lot of foreigners. So for the kids, you know, when they see somebody tall, you know, when they see somebody's like, wow, they're like amazed. They're amazed. You probably look like a giant, you know, when you're tall, you know, to like a little Filipino kid here. The subject is taboo in the Philippines. I think so. The subject is, you know, not all though. Like I know in the cities, I know in Manila, Cebu City, Angeles City, Dumaguete City, the cities, you know, very progressive here in the cities. People date casual in those areas. You know, there's women that are progressive in those areas. If the government is not going to mandate sex ed in school, it behooves the parent. Oh, definitely. It's the parents' job, you know. I know with Leanna, it's Dazzle a nice job to like. We've already talked to Leanna. We talk to her all the time about that because even at Leanna's school, high school, right? Leanna started high school. There's teenage pregnancy, kids underage, you know. So you know that's why you have to talk. You have to talk to your kids. You can't ignore that. You can't ignore that. All right. I already mentioned very conservative here in the Philippines. But there's a good thing about being conservative here in the Philippines. If you want to meet a traditional woman, you know, like a traditional woman in the sense where the woman wants to stay home, wants to raise your kids, you know, follow, you know, look at their man as the man of the house, respect, you know, that's what happens here in the Philippines. You know, it's there are, like I said, there's progressive women here. But again, most of those women live in BGC, Manila, Cebu, Dumaguete, you know, those places that would date foreigners and sometimes date multiple foreigners, just casual dating. Those exist. But in the province, doesn't exist here. If you date a Filipina here in Aklan province, you're dating that one Filipina. You know, you're not gonna be dating another Filipina. She's not gonna fly with that. You know, the province girl are again more traditional. A lot of times the the province girls here, they're raised by their parents to like, to be a homemaker, raising kids, supporting their husbands. That's just the way it is here. I mean, there's more dual working couples now here, the younger generation, just because they can afford. A lot of times by necessity. Our friends in college here that got married together. They both work, just because of the salary for the male just not enough. But if a guy here makes good money, chances are that the wife doesn't work. The wife takes care of the kids. That's just the common dynamic here. All my posse brews. Happy to hear I can still be adopted. You will not have a problem, Daniel. I already know, brother, because I can tell you got a good spirit, good-hearted, you're a good person. If you're a good-hearted person, you're gonna meet a Filipina here, and you're gonna meet a good family. You will have a family here. It's just the ones that come here to the Philippines. I'm nothing wrong with it. It's like, to me, they come here, they go to like places like, again, Angeles City and party. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like but I think when you're kind of living that lifestyle, partying, going to bars, strip clubs, things like that, you're not going to attract the good Filipina, in my opinion. You're not going to meet the good Filipina. The good Filipinas are still traditional here in the Philippines. And one advice, and this will happen very quickly anyway. Most of you would know this. JP, when you start dating a Filipina here, the age gap thing, not a big deal here. People make a big deal of it. If you're in your 50s, 60s, you're gonna date somebody in their 20s or 30s. Not a big deal here. Actually, a lot of parents here push their kids sometimes to date somebody more mature, somebody that would take care of them. And with that, let me see here. What do I want to make up? I want to make sure I wanted to say the right points. The very third common thing that will happen here, as soon as you meet a Filipina, you will meet the parents. That will happen. It's like, that's a good sign for the Filipina herself, her family, that you're serious. Because unfortunately, here in the Philippines, there are a lot of expats here that just like go out as many women as they want. It's like I said, I'm not bashing them. They're single. At least they're single. They're dating single women. Nothing wrong with that. To me, single women, single men. Their thing. But the ones, if you're serious with the Filipina that you meet, the very first thing will happen in a short time too. It usually in the States, I know when I was dating in the United States, it takes a while to meet the parents, right? Because when you meet the parents in the States, it's usually like you're getting close to like that point where serious, right? Here, it happens pretty quick. It could happen in a week. It could happen in less than a month. You're already meeting the parents, because that's a sign here. If you're meeting the parents, that's a sign here that you're serious. You will have a talk with the dad. You will have a talk with the mom. They're gonna ask you, what is your intention with our daughter? That's gonna come up. That's gonna come up. Like me, when I started dating Dazzle, I knew that when I started dating Dazzle, and I met Dazzle's dad. And I met Dazzle's mom. Next thing I know, I met everybody in the family. For me, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. It's like meeting the family. At least you're gonna get an insight on mom and dad, the dynamic, how your Filipina got raised, the dynamic about the family, the sisters, brothers, and all that. You'll get to see that, and then you'll find out whether, like I said yesterday, is your Filipina the black sheep? Is your Filipina the good one? It's like. You'll find things out. When you meet the parents, meet the family. I think that's necessary. That's necessary, especially if you're serious about your Filipina. I have liked kids, even the ones who were not taught manners by their parents. Greetings, Daniel. Greetings, Daniel. Edgar, hello, Daniel. Sergeant USA. How is the parking at La Casa? Will there be room for my bike? The bikes are no problem because they got a courtyard where you can, yeah, it's actually inside the courtyard. So you can actually park your motorbike inside, outside, right outside your apartment, especially if you live on the first floor. Not a problem. There's, I would say, 8 slots. By the office, and then there's more slots on the side, maybe a dozen parking spaces for cars, but motorbikes, no problem. Plenty of room for motorbike. The best thing about kids is making them. Rabbit farmer. Belus, funny you say see hardships. I always say the Philippines is a hard go. That's everything. It's a hard go. But I know, right? It's like for me, that's why, I already told the nephews, I want them to have a chance in life. Like my legacy when I'm gone, at least I put some kids through college. That's a legacy that I want, because without college here, they're just going to be laborers here their whole life. No chance of elevating themselves. So I know they need that. That's why I push Leanna. With her kumon, with her studies, with being a nurse, because I tell Leanna all the time, is she's gonna be her older brother Miko that graduated. Dazzle was the first member of her family that graduated college. Miko the second, and I know Leanna will be the third. I want that dynamic for them. That way, the next generation will be college graduates. Before that, nobody graduated college, so they were all just laborers, and I don't want that for them. I've been around them so long now. Leanna, I've been around her since she was a baby. The nephews, ever since they were babies. Now the nephews are like 12, 8, 6. So I know them. It's like I want them to succeed in life. JP, bike not a problem. Car now. Yeah, car is a problem. Like I said, only about 12 slots for cars. Like even when I go there, like today when I go to the La Casa, I'm hoping they have parking, but if they not, I might have to find another place to park my car. Maybe at Rubens. Maybe I go to Rubens. Maybe I go to Rubens' apartment and park my car at Rubens. Because Rubens' apartment is walking distance to La Casa. He's not far from La Casa Española. I'm no planning on a car for the first year. I'm thinking about a multi-cab after. Oh yeah, plenty of that. Motorbikes, to me, once you get the motorbike, JP, I think you'll be happy just having the motorbike. That's what most expats here just ride motorbikes. A lot of times they don't really buy a car here until they have a family, until they meet the Filipina, if the Filipina has kids or the Filipina has other members of the family. That's usually when expats here buy a vehicle. Yes, that's number one. She chooses you over family. Spot on, Ginno. A+ advice, right, Belus? Right? To me, that's always how I knew Dazzle loved me. She does not put anybody above me. I know that's probably kind of like egotistical of me, but I like that. I like that I'm number one, but also Dazzle is number one with me. I ask Dazzle about everything. It's like, I always ask her, how do you want this done, babe? Or how do you want to handle this, babe? If Dazzle says no go, I'm done. It's like I'm happy wife, happy life. I understand that. It's like she's number one, I'm number one in her heart. Multi-cab or small Ginno car is big and roomy. Yeah, for a Toyota Wigo, it's not bad, right? Like a lot of space, a lot of headroom for like the Toyota Wigo for like an economy car. It's like, but the multi-cabs are tiny. They're almost like a miniature truck. Like when I've ridden them before in the front, I've actually driven them. Not if you're tall, if you got long legs, it's like it'd be hard. Like it's okay to ride around like a tricycle in town, but for long driving it could be it'd be hard to like sit up straight, because it's not the multi-cab, not the most comfortable seat. It's not like a bucket seat. It's like the truck seat where you're like, sitting up straight. Michael C, my good friend in Trece Martires. Good morning, bro. Good morning, bro. With my Hispanic last name, once I get my 10, able to fit in. Yeah, you'll be able to fit in, and many people here fit in. It's like JP, like even Ruben, Mel, because once you're here, you're walking around here, you start getting dark. You start getting tan. So unless unless you're really white, you'll always like stand out in the crowd. But a lot of times, once you start getting the tan, like you said, if you don't talk, they won't know you're not Filipino. And here in Aklan province anyway, because of Boracay, we get a lot of tourists. Even in Calibo, there's more and more expats. The Panay Posse, the Panay Posse, more and more expats here. You'll get more. I am not looking to. Yeah. I know JP. I know JP like serious. He's not that type rabbit farmer. Yeah. I know. And to me, JP, you're coming in with that. That's the right attitude to come here. There's plenty of expats that come here and that notches and all that. It's like when you're good-hearted, you want to meet a good Filipina, you will meet a good Filipina here. And the way I've seen, just my experience, the way I've seen how you end up meeting a Filipina here, it's usually through your friends, like expat friends, like me, Dazzle, because, we kind of know people, it's like we can partner people that we know people that, hey, they might be a good, they at least try, it's like, because at least another expat or a friend, when you meet a friend here, their girlfriend or their wife will have female friends. That's usually how you get introduced. Very common here, JP. The minute you get here, people will say, "Oh, I have a niece. I have something. There, I have a cousin. She's not married. She has no. People will like introduce you. It's like the Kano here in Aklan. It's called Kano Americano. Kano for short. Afam. That's another word here. 2 words. Kano Afam. People like to date them. You will not have a problem. If you're Kano, if you're Afam, if you're single, you're not gonna have a problem getting a date here. And usually, like I said, it's usually through people we know, people that friends that you know. And then the other place that to me, so I'm not saying like I mentioned it before, like join a church, but to me, church is a good place to meet somebody, especially if you already have a denomination, you already have a church that you participate in America. When you come here, you will find the same church here. There's pretty much, there's Jehovah's Witness here. There's Mormons here, there's Catholics, Protestants, you name it. All religions are here in Aklan, in Calibo. All religious denominations are represented in Calibo. So if you have a particular religion where you follow, you will, that's the best way to meet a good Filipina. At least you already have commonality with your religion. And from what I've seen, all the different groups of religious groups here, they do outings, they do beach activities, they do picnics. It's just family oriented. Like I know JP, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a Filipina, more family oriented. You're not looking for the progressive. You're not looking for the progressive Filipina that date multiple expats. Fishing, seafood. Yeah, right. I don't see any problem that you'll encounter here, JP. I know you and Daniel, you guys got the right attitude. You're gonna have a good life here, and I'm not just saying that. I know it. It's like, Edgar, just don't think about the age, but make sure she is mature and not the age, not an issue. And my friend actually, I have another friend. The age thing, I think people get hung up on the age. You know, I have met people here that are younger age, like 25 and below, right? That are more mature than a 40-year-old. I have met people that are 40 that act like they're 15, so to me, people get hung up on age. It's like, I've met many people that are ahead of their time, like, maybe because of their life experience. Like, I know Leanna's only 12. She is mature for her age, because when we talk to Leanna, she is talking, she's understand that she do not want to be poor. She wants to work hard. She wants a career. She wants to help her family and her nephews. So to me, at 12, their maturity is not based on age. I know that, man. I mean, I met guys that are like senior citizen age, and they like act like a 12-year-old, right? So to me, that's nonsense. Age is not. Age is, you hear this all the time. Age is just a number. It's like your age doesn't make, just because you're like Social Security age 65, 67 doesn't mean you're mature. It's like you see it all the time. There's still people like should be mature by now, but they're not. They don't act mature. Don't forget the thumb. Oh, thank you, James. Thank you, James. Appreciate it, brother. Traditional women are a great thing. I was raised with traditional values. Amen, amen, brother. Right? Amen. That's to me. That's what made my life complete here. It's what made me happy here. I just feel complete. Having Dazzle in my life, having Leanna, having her family here. My life is just complete. I've gotten to the point of my life where I'm content. Like I said, I don't crave material things anymore. I don't, all I want is like experiences with good friends like James, experiences with people that I hang out with, Edgar, things that we can just like enjoy each other's company, and just like, hey man, we're living the dream. We're retired in the Philippines. We're living the good life here. That's what I enjoy. How hard is this to find parking for a tuk-tuk in general? The tuk-tuk are easier to park. There's two kinds. Like mine's a tricycle. But I know the tuk-tuk you're talking about, like the back seat, kind of like a motorbike you ride on the front. They're smaller, so they're easier to park. The one thing with the tuk-tuk and tricycle, of course, most of the time, you can only really use it around town, Calibo, Numancia. For long distance driving, that could be hard. It could be hard. I mean, it's done. I've seen people ride their tricycle all the way to Rojas City from Calibo all the way to Iloilo City. You see tricycles all the time on the main highway. It's not that it's not done, but as far as being comfortable, the car is still comfortable. If you're, that's why we have a car for long distance. I still prefer driving a car. If I get a Barako, I can get a big trike at that. Oh yeah, JP, Barako is like a strong motorbike here. When they put the Barako is a motorcycle here. I think 175 cc. When they put it on a sidecar, man, you can put a whole family in there, man. You can put 10 people in that tricycle, and it'll haul it. It's not very common here. Actually, Dazzle even laughs at it every time she sees it. The driver will even like kind of stand up when riding, and there will be like behind the driver, there will be like 2, sometimes 3 people. The tricycle, at least 8 people inside the tricycle. So like a dozen people in a tricycle on a Barako, man. So Barako has got all the power, man. But yeah, climb it up a hill here, man. Climb it up in the mountains. Lafayette, all right, said hi, all right. Y and K, F Fortune Viernes. I like Daniel. Daniel does the shortcuts. Daniel tries to trick me. Y and K. Maybe that was supposed to be a J. J and K. I know James and Karen. I know James and Karen. JP, Edgar. FY, I know it's Fortune. Fortune Ibiernes. All right. All right, I got to the bottom. I'm okay, Mike. It's like you can post. I'm not. You can try to distract us. Not a big thing. We're used to people trolling us. We have a nice group here, man. It's like we're family in my channel on my live stream. We're family here, so you're not gonna bother us, Mike. Mike Miller. All right, good day, Daniel. Like you can tell, Mike Miller, we know each other here. Everybody says hi to everybody here. It's like everybody, when they join the live stream, we're family here, man. All right, that was the topic that I wanted to discuss. And I'm at the bottom. I'm observing the truth. All right, you're observing the truth. All right, man. You're not the first troll, brother. It's like there's gonna be more. It's like we got a nice group here. Ouch! Meet my last ex at a Mormon church. Oh wow. Well, it's like it's like that should be not a detriment, right? Because to me, it's like my experience. One person doesn't mean like it a representative of the group. It's like maybe you just caught a bad one. Maybe you just caught a bad one there. I'm no troll. All right, Mike Miller, you're no troll. Thank you for not trolling then. Colas featured Inubarang Manok. Payag Resto. I'm trying to think where Payag Resto is. I think this one is, New Washington. Might be a new, in New Washington, there's a few, No Hayahay is popular, and then the one John and Elphas is where we go. I'm not sure about, I have heard Payag. Payag is a common restaurant here. Several towns here, Fortune has. Oh, I think I know now. Payag is that restaurant by the rice fields? Like you have to walk through the rice field, and then there's a restaurant. Real authentic. But Inubarang Manok, of course, I'm sure he featured it because it's a local. Inubarang Manok is specific to Aklan. Yeah, you can't find that dish anywhere else. It's just Inubarang Manok is the inside of the banana tree, like the inside. It's usually a young banana tree. They'll cut it. They're actually like kill the tree because they take the inside, and that's the part of the coconut milk, the banana stalk, and then chicken. Usually native chicken is what they use to cook that. Belus, I had bad I married her cousin. Payag is in our language is kubo. All right, kubo. All right, thank you for that. I was trying to figure out what payag means. Kubo makes sense. I don't. If you're from the Philippines, Mike, you would know there's hardly any drugs in the Philippines because if you get caught here, even with a joint, even with a single stick of marijuana here, you're going straight to jail here. This is not a place where drugs is prevalent. Belus, I say 50-50, good and bad. If you're good, then good. I think so. I believe in that too. Good people always attract good people. That I agree with that, Belus. All right, I got to the bottom, and I've made my spiel today. What are you talking? All right. He's just trolling me. Not a big deal. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream since I've got to the bottom. I wish everybody a good day, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Appreciate the time joining the live stream this morning. And everyone, please stay blessed. All right, thank you, Belus. God bless, my brother.